So Hare Krishna, all the devotees, will be discussing the glories of Srila Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Already did the Mangalacharan earlier. So how many of you are familiar with Gopal Bhatt Goswami? And how many of you are not sure if you know much about him or not? So how many of you are not sure about Gopal Bhatt Goswami? Can you raise hands?
I'm not sure.
Not sure, Prabhuji.
Okay. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami, of course, is one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as you all know, traveled at different places, right, throughout India. So one place he went in South India is where there were a lot of Vaishnavas, and it was like the one of the main capital of Vaishnavas, Shri Vaishnavas in South India, Shri Rangam area. And he interacted with various Vaishnavas. He visited different temples, different places. So during his South India Yatra, he came across one of the very, very advanced devotee who was in Sri Rangam area, Sri Vaishnav associated with the Sri Vaishnav temple. And his name is Venkat Bhatta. And he invited Lord Chaitanya to his place. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he spent some time, Lord Chaitanya spent some time there. And there, Venkat Bhatta, as well as his brother. What was the name of his brother? Anybody knows? Yes. Anybody else knows? Prabodhanand Saraswati. And
Yeah, I knew it, but hard time remembering it.
Venkat Bhatta, Prabodhanand Saraswati, and Venkat Bhatta's son, Gopal Bhatt. So Gopal Bhatt was 7 or 8 years old at that time, very, very young. But he was so sharp and intelligent. He was able to hear and understand the conversation between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his father, Venkat Bhatta. So Gopal Bhatt, he was there. Lord Chaitanya went, and Venkat Bhatta understood that Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna, because he was very advanced spiritually. And then when Lord Chaitanya came and he had personal experience, he immediately dedicated himself to Lord Chaitanya. And also Prabodhananda Saraswati's brother, they were very, very learned, as you can imagine, South Indian Brahmins, Sri Rangam, Sri Vaishnavas. So they are very learned in scriptures. So at that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a lot of conversation with Venkata Bhatta, which are more philosophical based, but he was kind of teasing Venkata Bhatta that how Lakshmi ji was not allowed to enter into the Ras Leela. And she did tapasya to enter the Ras Leela. So he asked, why your Lakshmi was not allowed to enter? Like that he was asking. And then Venkata Bhatta, he said, same thing, Narayan, Krishna, not much difference. He said, not much different, then why she left Vishnu and Narayan and wanted to go to Ras Leela with Krishna, but was not allowed. And then Venkat Bhatta had already understood that he is Supreme Lord. So he said, my Lord, you only know. After giving a few arguments. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally, he told actually, Krishna is Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa, Krishna Stu Bhagwan. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead actually. And Srimati Radharani is eternal consort. And Lakshmi ji, she actually was there in Rasa dance in the form of Radharani. But actually it was the Radharani who is the source. So he very nicely on the basis of scriptures explained, and Venkat Bhatta understood. No problem. In fact, he told his son should worship Lord Chaitanya like that. And Lord Chaitanya, when he met his son, Gopal Bhatta, he gave him instructions there only. Such a small boy, he gave him instruction. Anybody knows what instructions he gave? He told you should take care of your parents very nicely. Serve your parents. Parents very important. So you serve them, they are devotees, nicely take care of them, and after they leave their body, then you come to Vrindavan. And at that time only he said, you come to Vrindavan and you'll meet Rup and Sanatan. Now Rup and Sanatan had not even gone there. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows. So he already told. And then Gopal Bhatta Goswami was also instructed, do not marry. Do not marry. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knew what instruction to go give to which person. A few days back we were saying, right? Preaching means maturity in spiritual life, means to understand what is the need of the hour and to do that. And Kurma Brahman, who had a wife, he had family. Kurma Brahman wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya. He said, okay, I want to leave all my family, everything, and I want to come with you. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, yara dekhe tara kaha Krishna upadesh amara agya hai guru hoy tare desh. You stay where you are and you preach about the glories of the Lord. So that's the instruction he gave him. And all but he said, do not marry, come to Vrindavan. And he did that. So this is how we see great personalities, they will always be obedient to the orders of the Guru and Krishna. So Gopal Bhatt, he did not have any problems. He was there and later on he came to Vrindavan. Now, there are a lot of, it's a long journey from south to north. He went there, covered all of it. And then over there, Gopal Bhatt Goswami actually went to other Tirth Yatra also. He went to Nepal, Kali Gandaki River and so many other places. He went spiritual tour, Tirth Yatra. And then in the Kali Gandaki River, there are Shaligram Shilas. So as I was taking bath, these Shilas were coming on his lota. So he was thinking he's not eligible to worship them. But then they were coming repeatedly. He thought, maybe they have a desire to go to Vrindavan. Took them, nicely worshipping there. And one time there was a very rich person. He was distributing dresses for all the deities. And Gopal Bhatt Goswami was thinking that if I have deities, I could have also done, more seva. Because devotee is interested in doing more and more service. So he was thinking, if I have deities, I can do more seva. Shaligrams, you can't dress them, right? Shaligram. How many of you know what is a Shaligram Shila? Anybody here who knows what is a Shaligram Shila?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay. Anybody else?
A little bit, probably.
Little bit.
No
Okay.
idea.
Okay, not many people know. So Shaligram Shilas, they are actually in the Kali Gandaki river. They are special forms of the Lord, which you can just start worshipping. I think you don't even need to do Pran Pratishtha or anything. They have their Krishna himself. Otherwise, when you have according to Pancharatra Vidhi, when you establish a deity, you have to do Pran Pratishtha. That's how, the standards are in the temples. That you have to do Pran Pratishtha, then the Lord actually comes and resides in the form which you have built for the Lord. And then he is non-different than the Lord. But before that, he's just, he has not entered in the personal form. Of course, in the form of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he's there everywhere. But in his personal form as Radha Krishna, for example, Lord is not established till the whole Pancharatra process happened. But in Shaligram Shila, that's not the case. It's meant to be worshipped, and there are certain standards to be followed for worshipping Shaligram. It's not easy. So this is there are different forms you can actually see, and then you will those who are expert, they can tell what Shaligram is what. those who are spiritually advanced. So like that, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, he was thinking, if I had deities, I could have dressed them, done personal service. And then he was praying like that. And then what happened? This was which day? Which day was this? Do you know which day was this? Which day was this? This was the day of Narsingh Chaturdashi. So just like Narsingh Chaturdashi day, Lord personally came out of the pillar for Prahlad Maharaj. Similarly, Lord came out of the Shaligram in the form of Radharaman deities. And then when Gopal Bhatt Goswami saw, he saw beautiful forms of Radharaman. And if you see Radharaman temple still in Vrindavan, they have these beautiful deities and very small, like little teeth are visible of Radharaman. Very, very small, subtle. And from behind, it still has the shape of the Shaligram. Because Shaligram only Krishna came. So like that, then he started doing personal seva like that. And these deities are the original deities which are still in Vrindavan. Other than this, all the other deities had to be shipped out of Vrindavan, transported out. They were taken to Rajasthan because Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govind, Radha Gopinath, these temples were being attacked by Muslim kingdoms, and they had huge temples in Vrindavan for all these. But for Radharaman, it was just worshipped at home only. It was just like a home. At that time, Gopal Bhatt Goswami told his disciple, what was his disciple's name? Gopinath Pujari. Gopinath Pujari was a disciple of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. He told him to get married and take care of the deities. So it was just like, like a temple, but it was like more like a house in which they were establishing. So even their followers, they are mainly all are married only. So they take care of Radharamanji. And Prabhupada told to ISKCON devotees, his followers, that our deity worship standards we should learn from Gopal Bhatt Goswami's, this Radharaman temple. That's how we should learn. So they have very good standards of deity worship. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami's glories are so many, but he was so humble, he actually told all the devotees to not write about him. So if anybody was going to write books on Lord Chaitanya or the Goswamis or others, and they will take blessings from all the Vaishnavas. So if they come to take Vaishnava blessings that, I want to write, he said, I will give you blessing on one condition. So what condition? You're not going to mention about me. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami's glories are so much, but we know very little from the immediate followers. The later followers were able to write because they were not given this kind of a thing, but they heard and they wrote. But still, what could have been written could have been much more. But this is the humility. Like Jeev Goswami, he write in his Shat Sandarbha, in his Sandarbhas, and some of the things he meant, he is basically giving a comparison of how the Vedanta Sutra and Jeev Goswami wrote lots of books. So he wrote Shat Sandarbha and other books and a lot of it. And some of the books, like one place he wrote comparison of Vedanta Sutra with the Srimad Bhagavatam. How Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to always say that Vedanta Sutra, the commentary is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vedanta Sutra means they are the essential, all the essence of all the Vedas. That is the Vedanta Sutra. Sutra means a very huge amount of knowledge compact into one sentence. Like you can say headline of a newspaper. Like you have the headline, but then there is a body, right? So similarly, the sutras are like that. They are like notes. And then, so this is how Ved Vyas made the notes. Now, you have to unpack those notes. So every sampradaya has a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. To unpack it, to tell that how what we are telling is actually from the Vedanta Sutras. So Anybody knows what are the commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra? Who has written commentaries? Anybody? Any names?
Madhacharya.
Somebody said Shankaracharya. Who said Shankaracharya? Raksha Mataji. So what is the book written by Shankaracharya? Which is, what is the name of the commentary by Shankaracharya?
I know it, but I forgot the name. One minute.
Shariraka Bhashya.
Shariraka Bhashya. Yes, sorry.
Very nice. Shariraka Bhashya is written by Shankaracharya. Then what other devotee has written, or what other?
Ramanujacharya.
Huh?
Ramanujacharya.
Ramanujacharya. Okay, what commentary Ramanujacharya wrote? What is the name?
There's one Sri Govind Bhash. I don't know which one is that.
So this is Shri Bhashya.
Sri Bhash.
Shri Bhashya. So Ramanujacharya comes in which sampradaya? Shri sampradaya. Shri Bhashya, right? And then who which other devotee wrote?
Prabhuji, Govinda Bhasya by Baldev Vidyabhushan.
Yes. So in our sampradaya, Baldev Vidyabhushan wrote the commentary on the Vedanta Sutras, and that is
Govinda Bhasya.
much later. That is written much later. That is the Govind Bhashya. It was not written earlier. Why it was not written earlier? Because Lord Chaitanya used to say, we don't need a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, because Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So when he said he's a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra, so Jeev Goswami kind of was proving it, that this is a natural commentary. So as he was writing, and he wrote at one place, all this work, like in that particular section, what he wrote, he said all this work is derived from the work of a South India devotee, Bhatta devotee, like that he wrote. He didn't write name of Gopal Bhatt Goswami, but we know that is Gopal Bhatt Goswami later on. So like that, he did so much work, but he did not let people to say. Even the Hari Bhakti Vilas of Sanatan Goswami, which we hear, it was actually written by Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and then Sanatan Goswami gave the further explanation on it, like that. So he did a lot. Of course, each of the Goswamis, they wrote their own very a lot of literature. Like Jeev Goswami, the amount of literature he wrote himself is equal to the amount of books written by Ved Vyas. Now, Ved Vyas, we know he wrote the 4 Vedas, he wrote the Mahabharata, he wrote the 18 Puranas, he knows 108 Upanishads, and whatever, millions of shlokas he wrote, Jeev Goswami also did that work. So Jeev Goswami work is, so all the devotees were doing a lot of work, but Gopal Bhatt Goswami also did a lot, but he was very humble. And in that mood, he did not want to really have anybody mention about him. So this is, another aspect where we see that for service, he did wrote some books, he did let his name be published for some service, but otherwise he was very reluctant and he wanted to be not mentioned or glorified. And then later on he gave initiation to Srinivas Acharya when he came to Vrindavan. Mataji has told the story beautifully, so devotees can go back and listen to the lecture of Natasha Mataji, which he gave few months back. So because of time constraints, I'll stop here. If any devotee would like to share a few other points from the pastimes of Gopal Bhatt Goswami, then please go ahead. Anybody who wants to share something or ask any questions, any comments, any points? So if something was not clear, you can always ask. I was kind of assuming few things as I was talking. I I was assuming that few of the things which we have covered in the previous months, or devotees may have heard in lectures, I was not going into very finer details, and some of the things could be repetitive, but repetition is always good in spiritual life. That way we can stay more grounded to the facts. Otherwise our memories, Kali Yuga memory, easy to forget. All right. Anybody would like to share anything?
I just have a question. Now, we learn about all those Goswami in the introduction, right? In the beginning.
In the Bhagavatam?
Yeah,
You remember all the Goswamis which we read?
I don't remember them, but I think that's when we studied in the introduction.
That was very little about Rup Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. This one is Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yeah.
Okay.